A student strike occurs when students enrolled at a teaching institution, such as a school, college, or university, refuse to go to class. This form of strike action is often used as a negotiating tactic in order to put pressure on the governing body of the university, particularly in countries where education is free and the government cannot afford to have a student cohort miss an entire year. This can cause an overload of students in one academic term and the absence of an entire class in the following term. A general strike is a strike action by a critical mass of the labor force in a city, region, or country. While a general strike can be for political goals, economic goals, or both, it tends to gain its momentum from the ideological or class sympathies of the participants. It is also characterized by participation of workers in a multitude of workplaces and tends to involve entire communities. The general strike has waxed and waned in popularity since the mid-19th century and has characterized many historical important strikes. The term general strike is sometimes also applied to a large-scale strikes of all the workers in a particular industry, such as the textile workers' strike in 1934. Those general strikes, however massive they might be, involve workers only in a particular workplace. The classic general strike, by contrast, involves also workers and members of the working class who have no direct stake in the outcome of the strike. For example, in the San Francisco General Strike of 1934, both union and non-union workers struck for 4 days to protest the police and employers' tactics that had killed two picketers and in support of the longshoremen's and seamen's demands. The nature of mass demonstration. A mass demonstration is characterized by a large number of people coming together to demonstrate a force against an authority they find repressive and on which they protest. According to John Berger, mass demonstrations are rehearsals for revolution. As more people participate on mass demonstrations, more people will acquire revolutionary awareness, which, in the long run, will yield to a revolution. The number of mass demonstrators is usually reduced when reported so that the state authorities can create an impression that the demonstration is a weak force with no real threat. However, the importance of the number of participants lies not on what is reported, but on how many have acquired the revolutionary awareness. A mass demonstration is a vessel of revolutionary awareness. Its purpose is to pass down this revolutionary awareness to its participants. Revolutionary awareness is rehearsed in two ways. One of which is when mass demonstrators capture a city or a capital. They transform the city center into their stage where they exercise power by interrupting the regular lives of city dwellers. By demonstrating, they manifest greater freedom. Its symbolic meaning lies on the fact that it is they, the demonstrators, who have built the city, maintained the city, and now disrupts the city. Revolutionary awareness is rehearsed in another way, when mass demonstrators present themselves as target to the forces of law and order. The state authority may allow the demonstration, in which case it demonstrates the strength of the mass and the weakness of the state authority. The state authority may also disperse the mass demonstration, in which case the undemocratic side of the state authority is displayed. At the display of violence from the state authority, the demonstration becomes a historical event. It is in this nature of mass demonstration which provokes violence that the injustice of the existing authority is unveiled. Mass demonstrations in the Philippines. The urban Philippine protest movement has a long and rich tradition. It can trace its beginnings from the Colorum and Sacdalista movements that launched spirited urban and rural mass actions in the early 1920s. Today, the Philippine protest movement is still a significant political force. However, the ideological and political persuasions of different protest groups are very diverse and each has its own broad following. To understand the protest movement in the Philippines, one needs to observe the different political forces that are usually spearheading big rallies and mass mobilizations in the cities. It should be noted that civil societies and progressive groups in the Philippines treat a big rally as a process. Philippine protests do not happen overnight. A planned big protest will undergo several stages of build-up in order to ensure maximum participation of protesters. The first stage will start from the boardrooms of multi-sectoral or umbrella organizations. Participating sectors and groups usually agree on the general political lines that will be carried by the protest action. Specific dates will be set for major build-up activities, and the final execution of the big rally will be finalized. After the central planning process, individual groups and organizations will unify their ranks and will set specific small actions that are geared to create an atmosphere of protest. Any group can hold their own small sectoral rally, pickets, mass discussions, and house-to-house campaigns. All these activities are designed to raise the militancy of individual members and to gain support for the major protest action from the broad masses.